time.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
I just wanted to ask you a few questions.
Go for it.
So, what industry and company do you work for?
So at the moment, I am with Coinbase, which is a crypto exchange. But in terms of my industry, that's in information security.
What is your specific position title called?
So I lead product security for Coinbase. So what that means is I'm responsible for security of all the products we develop for our customers.
Can you describe for me what your overall job responsibilities are?
Yeah, that's a lot. I'll try to summarize it. In essence, essentially, my team is a group of white hat hackers identifying issues before the bad guys do. So that's what my day to day looks like.
What does a typical workday look like for you?
Okay, good. Typical workday is essentially, working with our customers. When I say customers, internal engineering teams, enabling them to make sure they know how to um, keep the promise we have given to our customers in terms of security. Day to day also looks like working with my team, managing the team, people issues. Day to day also looks like sometimes, unfortunately, managing incidents. So if we get an issue, if we get a security incident, we have to manage that. So that's what it looks like.
What kind of skills is required to deliver well in your job?
A lot. Do you want me to go in detail or just at a high level?
Um, just a high level.
High level? Okay. I think, to be honest with you, there are certain skills which are irrespective. That's just my point of view. There are certain skills which are irrespective of the industry. You need those to be successful. So I'll give you an example. Communication skills. Irrespective where you are, if you can't communicate, if you don't have concise, crisp communication, you'll struggle. Stakeholder management, negotiation, working with customers, whoever your customer is again the fundamental skill set. Then comes the specific skill set you need for the industry. So in my case, it's the domain knowledge for security. Like, how do we protect systems? How do we protect information? How do we protect customer data and stuff like that?
What do you absolutely love about your job?
Um, I think the main aspect I love about my job is enabling my team, enabling others to be successful. So helping them grow.
What are some things about your job that you don't like?
For the most part, I like it. That's why I do it. Uh, I think being in people management and leadership, one aspect is, um, I would say that's in cases where you're not able to get what your people deserve. So that's a low light for me. Other than that, I love my job.
What skills did you have when you started this, and then how have they developed?
It's been a long journey. I've been working for 24 years now, so it's difficult to summarize, but essentially you just need to find your passion. You need to figure out what makes your curiosity go and just keep learning.
How many hours in a day do you put into this job, and what is your work-life balance?
It's pretty screwed up right now, but it's it's typical 9 to 5, or if you will, or but the hours we put in are intense. So that's the key: the intensity, the focus, multi-threaded, conversations. Um, I mean, I don't know if I'm just going a little bit more detail. It depends upon company to company, right? Amazon people who work for Amazon, they think Amazon is super fast pace. I have worked with Amazon I then worked with Uber. Uber is literally 4x Amazon, and Coinbase is literally 5x Amazon. So the pace and the intensity can differ from where the company is in the life cycle. So like Coinbase is a startup, so obviously it's very very fast, very aggressive. So yeah, so workday balance and work-life balance is a struggle right now, and that's why I'm going on a holiday tomorrow.
Can you tell me a little bit about your educational background?
I'm mostly self-taught, so there's pretty much everything available online. I've got good mentors. Education-wise, I have bachelor's in information technology, but security I learned myself, and I continue to do so.
What were your other job experiences before this one?
So before this one, I was leading product security, M&A, and other functions at Uber. Before that, I was leading Amazon advertising security and privacy. Before that, I was leading application security for Microsoft for 15 years. Before that, I worked with Hewlett Packard as a hacker. And before that, a company in India where I started doing information warfare, working with the government, if you will.
Overall, did you do any online training or certifications that were helpful?
Many, but I've stopped doing them now. But yeah, many.
What do you do for fun?
I don't know if you can see in the picture, but yeah, I used to do a lot of photography. I want to do photography. I picked that up again, but um, fun. I love stand-up comedy. I love. Um, I used to play tennis, but I need to get that going back again. And fun is now, definition of fun has changed a little bit. So now it's time with family and kids.
What advice would you have for kids who are interested in pursuing computer science?
Um, I think the key is curiosity and continuous learning, right? And within computer science is a huge domain. So you have to figure out what what makes you really get interested in that. You know, from you could be in product management, you could be in you can be a software developer, you could be in a program management, you can be in technical program management. There are multiple ladders. There are multiple people who develop software, if you will. It's not, people think it's just coding, but there are many aspects which makes the entire product go. So yeah, so you have to just think about what makes you interested. Overall, it's a very innovative and constantly changing field, so you need to be prepared for what you learn now will maybe not be relevant next 5 years, so you need to continuously learn. So if you're not that kind of a person that you love continuously learning, you might struggle. Yeah, so those are just few tips.
What made you want to go into security?
So I knew, let's zoom out a little bit, right? So when I tried to figure out what do I need to or what want to do in my career or in my field, I knew that I wanted to do something about computers, right? In my school, I was essentially the top of the class when it comes to anything computers, remotely related to computers. So I just had that a huge attraction towards anything you tell me, teach me about computers, I would do that. So I knew I wanted to be doing that. And then the first thing I did was I asked, back in the day, really pleaded my dad to buy me a desktop. But it was super expensive at that time because I think it probably was 50K or something, and it was a big amount of money. So that made me reassure myself that once I have the equipment, I can self teach and learn. And then how security happened, that honestly that happened by chance, because once you are passionate, you'll go through 10 doors, but you will come across a door which you will like, this is it. So it just happened that after one of the computer courses I was doing in an institute, I taught that course, and the owner of the institute basically came to me and basically said, "Hey, I'm offering jobs for the top three candidates who have topped the courses, and you're the topper." And I didn't even had to do an interview. I just got the first job, and apparently that company was in security. So it happened by chance, but I'm glad it happened, and I just kept going.
Could you re-explain like what exactly you do in security?
So as computer science is huge, security is as well massive. the multiple things to do within security. It's just a very once you unpack this, there is privacy. Privacy is essentially in, like, as you're browsing and you're dealing with apps and on your phone, how do you protect your private data, right? In a nutshell, there is security of your laptop or hardware or your data. There is risk management, there is product security, there is incident management. So there are multiple domains within security, but what it boils down to is, let me give you an analogy, right? So if you are in medical profession, if you are a doctor, you have hospitals, you've got specialists, you've got a primary care, you've got a neuro, you have a heart specialist. These folks are, this is an analogy to the real world. In digital world, we are kind of the digital doctors, if you will, right? So we make sure that the bad actors, like the doctors, are making sure that the diseases are taken care of. COVID is going on right now, they have a vaccine out. Similarly, in the digital world, there are many viruses, there are many bad code out there. We are the defenders, if you will, of the company, of the asset. So you have to protect the boundaries of the company. That's what we do on a regular basis. So I'm just giving you a very layman's definition. So think about that analogy, if you will.
Is it cool to be a hacker?
Yes, it is. But it is cool to be a good hacker, white hat hacker. It is not cool to be a black hat hacker. When I say white hat hacker, is you discover an issue with the intention of fixing the issue. You don't discover an issue with the intention of exploiting the issue. So if you're walking around the neighborhood, if you see a front door open, you inform the owner of the house that, hey, by the way, I just saw your front door open, please close it because it's not safe. That's the white hat hacker. It's cool to be that category. It's not cool if you see a front door open and you go inside and steal something and come out. So both of the skill sets are very similar, but the output is very different, if that makes sense.
Yeah.